All right, bro, let's talk about school. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I just came back from school, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really have the best day, honestly. And it's normal. Like sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. You know, when you come back from school and you have like a very bad day, and just someone said bad things, and the day just it isn't good. It isn't like a good day, like a happy day. That's how I'm feeling right now. But I'm feeling that because of something I speak about all the time, which is you never relate to anyone. And that is, I think that's the cost of self-improvement, of greatness, of being the best version of yourself, of being better than the 99%. That is the cost, is you don't relate to anyone. Now, of course, this is all temporary. This is all temporary, and I know this will go away. Like, when you become successful, when you have like a successful business and you're making a lot of money, at that point, yeah, okay, you have like friends who you really relate to, like your brothers, right? But right now, honestly, what it feels like the crabs in a bucket. Like the analogy where there are so many crabs in a bucket, and when a crab tries to get out of the bucket, all the crabs pull it down. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now, bro. And I'm being like, I'm trying to be as honest as I can, because I know so many people go through the same exact thing, which is you're on self-improvement, you're grinding, you're improving yourself, you're getting better, you're reading books, you're going to the gym, you're meditating, you're journaling, you're working, you're becoming more masculine, more attractive, you're more confident, you're just becoming a better human being. And suddenly you don't relate to anybody. In fact, people hate you. People hate on you. Like, people hate on me in school for this channel. People hate on me in school, for going to the gym all the time. But of course, I have my ways for dealing with it. And if you want to check out my videos, I have videos about, how to deal with hate and things like that. But yeah, that's the cost. And it's really ironic because I just came back from school, and that's just how that's exactly how it felt like. It felt like I can't relate to anyone. I'm surrounded by people. I love everyone. I love people. I love human beings. But I'm surrounded by, like, the people my age. They vape, let's be honest, bro. The people your age, the people in your class, they vape, they eat like very bad processed food, They probably fap like every single day, they watch porn, they do all these bad things. They're not only bad friends for you, they're literally like the exact opposite for you. They're literally the exact opposite of what you're doing. You're improving, they're getting worse. Now the problem is, you can't see it right now. You can't see that you are getting better. You are improving yourself. You are becoming the best version of yourself. And the thing is, they as well, like, you can't see that what these people around you, like what all these people around you who are not on self-improvement, in fact, they're destroying themselves. You don't see it, but you see it after years. And this is what I learned from all of my idols, all of the greats, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, Hamza, Jordan Peterson, all these guys, right? David Goggins. That's what I learned from them, is when they were just starting out, no one saw the difference. But what they did was they kept improving. And the people around them, they got worse and worse and worse. And over time, people could see it crystal clearly. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, today I was sitting in class, and I was doing like my classwork and things like that, and I'm doing my schoolwork, right? Because I want to get good grades and things like that. And my friend who's sitting next to me, he's playing on his laptop, and he's telling me, "Oh man, don't worry about it. No, don't study. Don't work hard. Don't improve yourself. It's okay. Don't improve yourself. Don't get good grades, because that's bad, right? Don't work hard. I just hate that. It like, if you've ever been through the exact same thing, like people always tell you, man, oh, don't read, reading is boring, oh, you don't have to meditate, oh, video games are actually beneficial for you, all this like nonsense that people always like to say to make them feel good. It just hits you right in the guts, man. It hits you right in your balls, right in your guts, and it just hurts, man. It hurts. Like you can't relate to anyone. You can't relate to anyone. You see all these people living their lives as comfortable slaves. But the thing I learned from, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, Hamza, all these guys, right? All of my heroes, is that in the beginning, you're in the lonely chapter. This is what Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson always talk about, the lonely chapter. You're in the lonely chapter. You can't relate to anyone. You don't even know if you're going to make it. You don't even know if this is going to work or not. You have tons of uncertainty. You have tons of insecurity. You don't even know if you're going to make it. And it sucks. And the thing is, it hurts for a very long period of time. For a very long period of time, you are the only one just clapping to yourself in the auditorium. No one is rooting for you. No one is telling you, hey man, you did it good. You're doing a good job, man. No one is rooting for you. In fact, people are actually hating on you for it. And this happens for 3 to 5 years. And after 5 years of grinding alone, people finally give you what you actually deserve, and people root for you. And the thing is, the problem is, people root for you in the very start and at the very end. But that middle part, that very, very hard middle, that is what makes the champions. That is what makes the greats. That is, in my opinion, what creates strong men. That's what I'll say, strong men. Hard times create strong men. Today at school, like, everyone was making fun of me for, talking about these things on my channel. But who cares? Like, why am I gonna care about people who are gonna die in the next 3 generations and are not gonna even show up to my funeral? Why should I care? Like, imagine this, bro. Imagine this. This is a good thing to help you stop caring about other people, which helps me personally, is imagine you have a friend, and that friend accomplishes every single thing they wanted to accomplish, every single goal, every single thing they wanted to do, every single thing that they wanted to do, they did, without listening to anyone. And that person died. After 2 years, how much do you care about them? That's exactly how people will view you. After you die, no one will care. Let's be honest, like, no one will care that, hey, you fumbled up in this business, or you took this risk and it was bad, or you said something wrong to a girl, or something, anything that's quote unquote cringe, right? And the thing is, like, what I realized, and I learned this from Alex Becker, which is, so many people, like 90 to 95% of people, like, will do anything to avoid being cringe, to avoid sucking in the beginning, to avoid the lonely chapter. They will literally do anything. They will chase the slow lane, which is, go to school, go to college. They will chase these college degrees, and look at me, I'm an engineer. Look at me, I'm a MIT, right? I'm a pharmacist, I'm a doctor. They will do anything so they can look good. They hate being cringe. And the thing is, the only way to getting every single thing you want is you have to suck in the beginning. You have to suck. You have to be cringe. You have to be that beginner who everyone looks at in a weird way, which is actually what you think, but actually no one really cares, right? No one actually cares that you're a beginner. Everyone just thinks about themselves, but that's how we view ourselves, is everyone thinks I'm a beginner, everyone thinks I'm cringe. You are afraid of what you think other people will think, that's it. And I'm telling myself this, by the way, not even you. Like, I'm telling myself this because I'm a person who was born to care so much about what people think. But let's be honest, if I cared what people think about me, I wouldn't have done any of this. I wouldn't have been doing any of this. Like, I'm recording videos in my balcony where everyone can see me, right? And I don't care. You know, I'm not responsible for other people's opinions of me, right? So yeah, that's the thing about school, you know. And like today, honestly, just wasn't the best. But like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, people kept making fun of my channel, you know, when I was, you know, I remember I was in the cafeteria going down, trying to get some water, and these people, this group of people just come up to me, and they're just making fun of me the whole time, making fun of my content, you know, going upstairs. I'm going upstairs, this little kid who sees my videos, he's making fun of my content. Who cares? Like, I know it hurts, but who cares? No one cares. So just do what you want. And that's my philosophy, and I think I've grown beyond that point, and I'm still growing, by the way. Like, of course it hurts me, I'm a human, but like, I think the more it happens to you, the less you care about it, if that makes sense. Like, the more people hate on you, the less you care about what people think in general, right? So yeah, that's the thing that hurts the most. Stan Lee, the creator of the entire Marvel universe, said this quote, which I absolutely love, which is, if you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. I'll say that again. If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good with all of your heart, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. That's all it comes down to. People's opinions are irrelevant. We are scared of what we think other people will think. But the reality is, the objective reality of the universe is, no one thinks about you at all. So just do what you want. Really, like, and I'm experiencing this in school, and it like, all these emotions are just hitting me, you know. I can't relate to anyone, you know. I have all this hate. With all this internet and all this AI and all these great things and content, you have media and code and AI, and you have so many ways to have infinite leverage, and all these young millionaires and billionaires getting rich through content and AI and code. And there are people, like, so many people, it's insane. Like, literally 95% of people still think that the slow lane is the way. And when I say slow lane, I mean like school, going to college, you know, getting a job, all this nonsense, right? The 9 to 5, basically. It's just insane. And the thing is, I'm Middle Eastern, right? I'm from the Middle East. And I grew up in an environment which told me that you can either go to school, get good grades, get a job, or you're a failure. You're a failure in life. Like, there's no in between, right? There's no other path. Like, I remember when I was 14 years old, I read the book, The Millionaire Fast Lane, right? This book right here, The Millionaire Fast Lane. I remember I read this book, and it made so much sense to me. It made so much sense to me of everything. When he explained, when MJ DeMarco, brilliant guy, honestly, I read all his books. His books are fantastic. The Millionaire Fastlane, Unscripted, and The Great Rat Race Escape. He's actually funny as well. But when he said these 3 paths, which is the sidewalk, the slow lane, and then the fast lane, it just made so much sense to me, because yeah, that's it. That's it, man. Like, the thing is, people think there are only 2 paths. You're either a sidewalker or a slow laner. A sidewalker, basically, let me just explain the 3. A sidewalker is someone who's just a consumer, full-time consumer who just buys things, and he cares so much about what people think. You know, the guys who keep buying, you know, very expensive things. They have no financial plan. They don't care about their money at all. They have no plan, and they're basically just poor. They're poor. And this is most people, by the way. Like the amount of people who are sidewalkers, it's actually a lot more than you think. So those are the sidewalkers. There's the slow laners, which are people who they have a financial plan, so yeah, they're better than sidewalkers, but it's the wrong plan. It's the slow plan, which is go to college, go to school, get a job, waste 40 years of your job, and maybe when you're 60 in a wheelchair, then you can become a millionaire. Oh yeah, you're a millionaire when you're 65, right? And you're in your wheelchair and you can't even walk, and you have arthritis in your left elbow. It just doesn't make any sense. And people believe this for a very long time. Like, oh, if I just invest in my 401k, if I just work a lot harder, I will become a millionaire when I'm 65, and then I can relax. So you really think that you will waste 40 years to become a millionaire, and you won't even enjoy the money, because you realize you will waste like 90% of all of your life building that wealth, and then you have to pay taxes on that wealth. So it's just a terrible path, terrible path, the slow lane. Like in his book, like in The Millionaire Fastlane, bro, like if you read this book, MJ DeMarco just talks about the slow lane. He just destroys it completely. Like one of the things I love that he said, which is, you know, when we go to school or when we go to college or when we go to a job, you go 5 days and you only get 2 days free, right? Let's talk about school, right? So let's talk about school in this example. So in school, you go 5 days of school and you get 2 days on the weekend. Oh, so let me just put this into perspective here. If you gave me $5 and if I gave you $2 back, what would you call me? You would call me a liar, you would call me a thief, you would call me a bad person, right? Because I stole your money, I stole $3 from you, right? But the thing is, when it comes to the slow lane, people, oh, I'm so grateful that the weekend came. Bro, you just wasted 5 days and you only get 2 days back. And the thing is, when you're in school, in those 2 days you have to study for quizzes, you have to make projects, you have to do your homework. And I'm saying this in year 11. Right now I'm in year 11, like the hardest school year ever. And I'm still making videos because I don't care. I know this is just a slow lane path. Now the thing is, like 99% of people think these are the only two paths. The sidewalk, which is you're poor, and the slow lane, which is, oh, in 40 to 50 years, maybe you'll get rich, maybe. Like the statistics say, only 3% of people in the slow lane are actually millionaires. Like a lot of times, so many times, man, I love my mom. I love my mom so much, right? This is not to say anything, but like so many times I would talk to my mom. My mom's like, oh, I have a friend and her husband is actually a millionaire and he takes them to America and he got all that because he went to business college. And I just asked my mom, right? I just asked her, how old is he? And my mom says, oh, he's 67. He's not that old. It's good. I say, okay. But like, you see what I mean? Like, you can never ever get rich young from the slow lane. Like, it is almost impossible to get rich from the slow lane. And even if you get rich, which is in their terms making $1 million, you will get rich on your deathbed, basically. Like, it's just so terrible. It's such a terrible, terrible plan. And the thing is, no one questions it at all. No one questions it at all, man. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'll be an engineer, I'll be a doctor. And I think one of the core reasons people do this is they avoid being cringe. They hate the idea of, oh, I'm gonna suck in the beginning. But the thing is, if you want to do anything in life, you have to suck in the beginning. If you want to build muscle, you have to suck in the beginning. If you want to read books, you have to suck in the beginning. If you want to create content, you have to suck in the beginning. Just like I did. I actually made a video called I Suck at Making Content. Because I do. Like, every video I make, I just suck less. I'm not even good, right? I just suck less, right? Basically, unless you're in the 1% who want to be an engineer or a doctor, or that's literally like their dream, their passion, take my blessing, you know, go do that. You know, if you really want to be a doctor, engineer, or a computer scientist or something like that, or a lawyer, but with my blessings, I pray for you, I love you, go for that. But for the 95% of people who know that you can never get rich through this path, who don't actually have like talents, right? There's a third path for you. There is a third path. And this is what I learned from Alex Hormozi, from Iman Gadzhi, from Charlie Morgan, from these legendary entrepreneurs. There's a path called the fast lane. And the fast lane is how every single person who got rich young got rich young. It's how every single one of your favorite influencers made all their money. It's through the fast lane. And the fast lane is based on one phrase or one sentence, which is unlimited controllable leverage. So what does that mean? Now, my favorite person who talks about this, who's actually like legit, is Naval Ravikant. If you don't know who Naval Ravikant is, he's basically like a nine-figure entrepreneur who's basically gonna become a billionaire, but this brilliant like person. He's brilliant at technology, at business, at money. He's read like thousands of books. He's just a very intelligent person. And he's actually the person who made Andrew Kirby rich, and he made Hamza rich, and he basically explains how all of these people who got rich in their 20s, right, like Logan Paul, KSI, Aisha Speed, Kai Cenat, Evan Spiegel, even like code billionaires, they got rich through leverage. And this is what the fast lane is all about. It's all about unlimited controllable leverage. So what is leverage? So leverage is, from what I've learned from Alex Hormozi, is leverage is the difference between what you put in and what you get out. So basically, I could go to you in your house and talk to you for 4 hours about, you know, how to start going to the gym, for example, right? And you would give me $100. Or I could go into a room and talk to 30 people and talk to them about how to start going to the gym for 4 hours. And each one of them will give me $100, so that's $3,000. Okay, pretty good. Or I could get onto a camera on this camera and look a bit weird, honestly, in front of everyone. But I will talk to you in the exact same thing. I will say the exact same thing. I will talk to you for 4 hours about how to start going to the gym, and potentially millions will give me $100. And that's exactly how the new age do it. Now, this is just one form of leverage, which is content, right? There is code, there is AI leverage, there is capital, which created the old generation of billionaires. There are basically, I would say, 4, maybe 5 ways of leverage that Naval Ravikant talks about. And these are the 5 ways of leverage that made every single person who got wealthy in history. Now, I'm not expert at this because I didn't make money yet. But this is just from what I've learned, from all of the greats, from all of these, legendary entrepreneurs, is for me and you to get rich, to get wealthy, all we need is leverage. It's not about hard work. The problem is people think, if I just work hard, if I just work hard. Okay, why is it that the people who work the hardest get the least? Like, go to China, man. Go to China. The people there get barely any money and they work all of the hours of the day. Like, look at the people who are building these buildings. Look at the people who are working their ass off, honestly. Like, working so hard in 9-to-5s, in call centers, just working so hard, people risking their lives, building things, and they get barely any money. And a little girl posting TikToks makes way more than these people who work very hard. It's kind of like this, like Imam Gadzhi said this analogy, which I love. Like, let's say I want to get to a destination. Like, this will explain what leverage is, basically. And it's a long trip you're going on. It's a very long ride. So you have some options. You could walk, and it would take you a year to get there. Or you could flat out sprint, just run as fast as you can, like the maximum, like take the human body to its limits, right? David Goggins style, sprinting for months, right? Like as much as you can, and it takes you 6 months. Or you could take a ride, you could drive there, and it takes you a week. You can drive there, you could take a ride there, and it takes you a week. Or you can take a flight, and it takes you 4 hours. That is leverage, basically. Now, let me just explain the vehicles, right? Because the guy who flat out sprints and the guy who takes a flight, or is any one of them working harder than the other? In fact, I would say the person who flat out takes a sprint, he worked substantially harder than the person who took a flight, but the person who took a flight got there significantly faster. So, based on everything I know, these are the leverage vehicles, basically, to get to wealth, to get to financial freedom, to get to becoming a millionaire and even a billionaire. First of all, we got labor. And this is the oldest form of leverage, which is leveraging other people's work, or basically leveraging other people's time and energy, if that makes sense. So we can imagine this like a farmer, for example. A farmer hires 2 people and they help him, like pick the apples or harvest, the land, right? And he works the same hours, but he gets more for what he puts in because he has people working with him. But this is the oldest form of leverage, and honestly, according to Naval Ravikant, of course, the weakest form of leverage, because we love people. We love human beings, but when talking about money, people complain, people have limited time and energy, people have wants, they have needs, they complain, right? They have things to do, right? They have limited time and energy. So you can only hire so many people. And that's what we realized in the beginning, in the agriculture age, right? is that you can only hire so many people, but the people who had the most labor, who hired the most people, who had the most people working for them, had the most money. All right, so that's labor. Then you go up a bit and you have capital, and this is how the old generation of billionaires were created, through capital. The Rockefellers, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, all these old but very, very powerful billionaires got made through capital. And capital is basically leveraging money. Even say this is Warren Buffett, for example, or Charlie Munger. They all made all their money through capital, through investing money. Warren Buffett, for example, he's been investing since he was, I don't know, like 10 or 11 or something like that, like very, very young. And now he's one of the richest people in the world. And Rockefeller, for example, when he would build factories, he would make a lot of money from those factories, but he would build more factories, so he would leverage that capital or that money. Capital is money, basically. And he would make more factories, and that would make him more money, and then he would make more factories with that money, and then he would make more and more and more until he became the first billionaire in human history. Same thing with Andrew Carnegie with the steel. Don't need to go into too much detail, right? And then we got the top three, and I would say these three are how people become wealthy, or how people make all of their money. And the three are code, content, and AI. So let's break down each of them. Let's start with content, for example. The simplest example is I could make this video, and this video could reach millions and millions of people. And if just, let's say, like 10% of people out of 1 million, 100,000 people give me $100, then I would make $10 million just like this. You see how unfair the game is? You see how unfair this is? You see how like freaking easy it is for people to make so much money, and it doesn't have anything to do with working hard? So that's content. Code, you could create a software, or you could create an app, or you can create like Facebook, for example. Like Facebook, it helped 10 billion people connect, and it made Mark Zuckerberg one of the richest people in the world. You see, same thing with Snapchat. It made Evan Spiegel one of the youngest billionaires in human history. Right? Game is unfair. And then there's AI, and I think this is what we should invest in the most. AI is creating the youngest billionaires we have ever seen in history. AI it's very similar to code, but it's creating a software that, an AI basically, that solves a problem. This is what I learned. So, for example, I don't know the name, but there's this 21-year-old. Oh, Alexander Wang. Yeah, that guy's a G. Alexander Wang. He made an AI app that basically helps you scale your business using AI, which is one of the deepest needs businesses need. And it made him a billionaire just like this. So yeah, AI, content, code. I personally chose content to make money. But you choose whatever you want, right? So yeah, I hope this video gave you value, and I honestly thank you so much for watching this video. This is, if you're feeling the same thing as I'm feeling, if you're feeling like you can't relate to anyone, this is so hard, entrepreneurship's hard, honestly, like the best advice I can give you based on everything that's happened to me, is just make content, bro. Make content, talk about your journey. Document your journey, bro. People love being a part of the people love being part of the process, the journey, right? People love that. And if you're willing to do that for 5 to 10 years, you'll make so much money. All right, and you give tons of value. You change millions of people's lives as well. And as always, bro, we're in this together, and we will make it.